Hello everybody and welcome to Paulet. Now tonight I'm going to be travelling on two very special Enviro400s. Now in the next couple of weeks the Buses of Somerset will be receiving and eventually rolling out their new Yutong electric double-decker and single-decker buses. However, in the meantime, Somerset continues to have a shortage of buses and bus drivers. And whilst the shortage of bus drivers can't really be helped, you can transfer buses from other parts of the first bus network across to the Buses of Somerset. Now, you may have just noticed that I've jumped on a very strange looking Enviro400, at least for Somerset. Yes, this vehicle and another sister vehicle used to operate in Portsmouth and will presumably end up going back to Portsmouth once the Buses of Somerset have rolled out their new electric buses. So let's see what is different on these facelift Enviro400s to the standard Enviro400s that the Buses of Somerset already have. Here we are just passing through Huntsville. Now on the upper deck of the Portsmouth Park and Ride branded Enviro400, you can see that the vehicle has a large destination screen. It also has quite nice seats, a lot better than the standard seats that you get on all of the other Enviro400s in the Buses of Somerset fleet, and it also has quite a nice floor. However, the legroom is still exactly the same, and there are no USB ports, which you would expect on this type of bus and this type of bus service. Anyway, let's continue on towards Burnham-on-Sea, where I will get off the bus and get back on the bus going in the other direction, and we'll have a look at the features downstairs. Here we are passing through a new housing estate which has recently been built on the outskirts of Highbridge. This used to be a floodplain, however they have now built houses on it. Just goes to show that there is really a need for houses. Here we are passing through Highbridge Town Centre. Now notice when the bus stops, this bus does have announcements that play. However, they aren't really very useful, since the Buses of Somerset don't actually have any announcements programmed yet. For example, First West of England have announcements programmed for most, if not all, of their routes. However, the Buses of Somerset don't have that technology yet. However, when the new electric buses enter service, they will presumably have this technology. Yeah.
Are you sure that is?
Yeah, you've opened up.
Yeah, but I didn't start.
This is the If you are standing, please hold on tight as we pull away.
Here we are arriving at the bus stop opposite the Old Pier Tavern in Burnham Town Centre. This is not a very far walk from the seafront, as you'll see in a minute, and is 2 stops away from the end of the 21 route at Seaview Road. Here is this ex-Portsmouth ADL Enviro400 leaving the Old Pier Tavern to head to Seaview Road, which is at the end of the 21 route in Burnham. As you can see, this particular ex-Portsmouth vehicle is sporting the Portsmouth Park and Ride livery, which is one of my favourite liveries I've seen on a first bus in quite a while. However, there are quite a lot of places I haven't been which do get served by first buses. Anyway, here we are in Burnham Town Centre, And yeah, there's not much, so I didn't really film much in Burnham Town Centre. And anyway, this video is about the two ex-Portsmouth double-deckers. This time around, I'll sit at the back on the bottom deck and we'll have a look at some of the features on the lower deck of this bus. Here we are arriving at one of the stops between Burnham and High Bridge. This bus has announcements on both levels, which, believe it or not, some buses don't have.
This is the... If you are standing, please hold on tight as we pull away.
Although this bus didn't have any branding left on the top deck, this bus does have some Park and Ride branding left on the bottom deck, which is in the very nice Park and Ride livery which I mentioned earlier. The bus overall on both decks, and this includes the other bus that we're going to ride on later on in the video, has a very nice interior with nice wooden floors and very comfortable seats. Arriving at the Stretcho turn bus stop. Instead of going all the way into the village of Hawlett, I decided to get off a few stops down the road near Stretcho and near the Stretcho crematorium, since it looked like it was going to be a lovely sunset this evening. Here I am now at the Stretcho turn bus stop, which is located on the main A38, and well, I think I was the only person to have used that bus stop in quite a long time. I have used this bus stop once before, and in between that gap, I think there might have been one other person that used the bus stop, and that was it. It was quite nice here. It was in the middle of nowhere and gave me some time to reflect on some of the things I'd done over the past couple of days. Anyway, I didn't have too long here before the bus going the other way came along, which is another ex-Portsmouth Enviro400, this time in a livery advertising the University of Portsmouth. The other bus had University of Portsmouth branding on the rear of the bus, but it did not have University of Portsmouth branding across the whole of the vehicle. This vehicle, however, does have University of Portsmouth branding across the whole of the exterior of the bus, whereas the interior of this vehicle still has Portsmouth Park and Ride branding. Here we are crossing over the River Huntsville. This is probably where West and East Huntsville villages get their name from, but I'm not exactly sure. This is just a guess. Here is some lovely branding located near the staircase on the bottom deck. I thought this branding looked pretty nice, and it featured local Portsmouth landmarks such as the Spinnaker Tower.
If you are standing, please hold on tight as we pull away.
Here we are arriving back at the Old Pier Tavern in Burnham town centre just an hour later. Now I didn't film very much of the interior on the bottom deck of this bus since all of the branding was gone. This was exactly the same for the top deck. Here is this sister vehicle to the previous bus that we went on, leaving the Old Pier Tavern to once again go up to Seaview Road. As you can see right at the back, there are still little bits of the Portsmouth Park and Ride branding showing through the University of Portsmouth branding. Here I am now back in Burnham town centre. As you can see, there is a large superstore. I'm not too sure what it was originally, however I do remember it being a Morrison's before it became a B&M. As well as this, there are quite a few fish and chip shops in this area, as well as a Wetherspoons and the Old Pier Tavern pub itself, which I think might have closed down. It was supposed to, but whether or not they've actually obeyed the rules, or if they've just carried on open as usual, I'm not too sure. Anyway, this time around, going back all the way to Pawlet this time, I decided to sit on the top deck. As you just saw, there is no branding left and the seats are pretty much exactly the same. However, I did decide to sit at the top and the bottom on both vehicles just to see if there were any differences. As you can see, the interior of this bus was practically the same as the last, having large destination screens, the same flooring and very nice seats. On both vehicles, the seats on the bottom and the top at the back were very nice seats and were different for reasons that you will probably understand. It has something to do with the engine.
remain seated until the bus stops. This is the... If you are standing, please hold on tight as we pull away.
After passing Stretcho turn, here we are arriving back into the village of Hawlett, which will be where I will alight this bus.
Please remain seated until the bus stops.
Here I am now, back at the bus shelter in Hawlett, which is the main stop in the village. Anyway, as this bus departs for Taunton, this is the second to last bus of the day. Thank you very much for watching this video, and let's see if we can get to 600 subscribers. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video, and look out for some more first bus videos coming in the next couple of weeks. Bye everyone!